Hey, it's Bernadette. How are you? It's an interesting day. Today is the eclipse and all kinds of scattered energy. So, I thought I'd come on, especially if you're sensitive, if you're an empath and you are getting hit with all kinds of funky energy and you're trying to figure out what the heck, and you've got a bunch of mental blocks coming up. I'm jumping on to tell you if that's you, you are just not alone. There's a lot going on today astrologically. And oh my gosh, lots of, a lot of things being affected. Hi, Carmen. How are you? So, lots for the last several days, if not couple weeks, but especially the last several days, there has been a major energy ramping up due to the full moon eclipse and today. And while the eclipse already happened, the energies are just super potent. So a lot of people are getting hit with all kinds of funky energy and mental rides. Hi, Law. How are you? So if that's you, if you are feeling it, if you're scattered, if your ego's running rampant right now, put it in the chat so I can see. And I'll briefly go over what's going on astrologically. I mean, obviously, we have an eclipse in Scorpio. That's the first thing I'll tell you. And I pulled some stuff up because it's not just the eclipse or the full moon, right? Like that's enough on its own. But this eclipse brings in Mercury, Venus, Uranus, and Saturn, all the big playing energies. And it is bringing up a lot of our unconscious blocks and fears and limitations. It's bringing up desires and urges. It's like someone opened Pandora's box, and it's not fun, even for me. Like literally. And I went and voted last minute today with my daughter. She came in and she's like, Mom, we got to go vote. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I forgot. Today's the 8th. Today has been so strange. I woke up this morning and it was like the landscape of life just changed. Everything felt different. Everything looked different. I couldn't remember what I did yesterday. And I literally had to sit and purposely focus on what did you do yesterday? Like I got a lot done yesterday, but this morning it was like a blank. Could not remember. And still feeling, you're switching to YouTube. Good. Feeling like something shifted. And I had dreams last night that I was jumping timelines and things were all over the place. So waking up in this state of like not being able to remember what I did yesterday, which is beyond me why I couldn't. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing. It rocks you a little bit when you're like, I know something's changing and I know something's changed. So if you're having trouble and running into mental blocks, lots of mental chatter, yeah, I want to know. And then I'll give you guys some tips, what I've been doing. This energy is probably going to continue for the next couple of days, just not as intensely. Today's probably going to be the peak of it. And with Uranus and Saturn at play with Neptune, illusions, delusions, imaginations, there's just a lot. It's almost like information overload is happening on an energetic level. So we don't even necessarily know what's causing it, right? The beauty of what's happening right now is it is providing the energy for us to be able to shift our own personal realities. And in doing so, then we shift the greater picture out there. But it's like pushing a boulder uphill right now. And a lot of people that I've spoken to today are feeling very anxious and feeling scattered and out of sorts. So yeah, is that you? Are you guys feeling that, or am I just talking to the air? Jumping, talking to the air. And there's this common theme of, especially entrepreneurs that I've spoken to, that are like, I just feel like quitting. I just want to quit. Like nothing's working. I just want to quit. I've been feeling more overloaded and my belly's really sick. Okay. So anxious. It's been like a roller coaster. Yeah. So all of you that are commenting right now, feeling overloaded, feeling anxious, feeling like you're on a roller coaster ride, like, and feeling like quitting. Yeah. So I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. This is like the mass consciousness stream that is sort of hitting. It's like there is an energy of quitting, but and we're personalizing part of it. Of course, the ego's jumping in, no fun. But I do feel like there's an energy of endings, right? Eclipses create endings, but it's like our egos are jumping in and going, no, you should just quit. Like it's too much work, quit. That overwhelm stuff is where we don't want to focus. So if you're feeling it, it's not meant to be personal, not that part. It's definitely more about we need to quit what we've been doing on this planet that's creating so much chaos, so much destruction, so much inequality, right? Those are the things that we need to quit, not the things that we feel called to do. But of course, when it hits our personal consciousness, we start to personalize it. And then it translates into, I'm just going to quit, go back to corporate. So like literally, yeah, been having the same stream hitting me today. And I'm like, rather than going there, let me jump on a live and do the opposite of quitting and go support some people and be helpful. So this is the opposite of what my mind was yapping about, right? The animals are feeling this energy. I don't know if you guys can hear, my door is closed, but I've got 3 dogs barking because we got a plumber outside working on a leak from a job he did about a month ago on our water main. But before that, the dogs have been very, very unsettled. Today, they've been all up and down, right? It's a little I'll say off-putting. It's a little agitating. So don't quit. Mark this day on your calendar as a day to grow on. Use your tools. Like I've had to use EFT. I've been listening to HemiSync. It's HEMI sync, binaural beats, to get the brain hemispheres balanced back to wholeness today. And when I'm listening to it, I'm fine. When my headphones are in and the HemiSync's playing, it's cool. I can focus a little bit better, not 100%, but certainly better. And the mind chatter calms down some. But right now, mind chatter is off the rails. So do what you can, right? Do what you can to calm the mind. You might need to journal a lot today, and just get your thoughts down on paper. This is supposed to bring about insights and revelations for us personally as to where we're holding ourselves back, what's getting in our way. And so it's useful. I know it doesn't feel that way, and it doesn't to me either, right? I would prefer to have a nice, peaceful energy day, but it is what it is. So, okay, rather than resist it, I'm going to go with the flow of it. What are you here to teach me? Right? And if a thought comes up, like I want to quit, then I ask another question. What else is possible? What are the other options? What if I don't quit? What if I quit fighting myself in this energy, and what would it take to make it more joyful, more fun? So we just got to flip the negative stuff into questions that create possibilities. That's what we need to do right now. Hi, Carolyn. How are you? That's the most important thing. I see a lot of confusion going on out and about in the social media world. And there is a desire to just climb back in bed and call it good, tune out and go watch a movie or go read a book or something. But I can tell you, as much as you may want to do that, the energy is so ramped up right now. Sitting still is really difficult. And that's the one thing, like I can tell you, there's sitting still is hard. I always love the what else is possible. Yeah, it's a good way to refocus. What else is possible here? When your ego or your negative thinking kicks in, to the downward spiral and lower consciousness thoughts, you've got to push it back up into something else. And when my head starts going off, especially when the energies are stronger than my ability to combat them, mass consciousness is just going off at the rails. Like today, I I got to ask different questions to busy my mind with something more positive. Tools like tapping are essential when energies are coming up like this. And I have found today that tapping just on the sore spots. So those of you who have learned tapping from me, just tapping on the sore spots, even though I do not feel comfortable right now, even though I have all of these racing thoughts that aren't my own. I love and accept myself. Like, even if you're just doing that, hi, Megs, right? Just tap on the sore spot. Like, if that's all you can do, I mean, if you can do a whole round of tapping, good on you. But I have found today, like walking through the house, basically pacing up and down my stairs, just tapping and saying those things. Like, it will relieve it and calm it down. But honestly, the energies are just ramped. I'll read to you guys what it says about the astrology. So it's a busy eclipse with Mercury, Venus, Uranus, the moon's nodes, and Saturn closely involved. There can be inflated feelings. We can wrestle with strong urges and blocks. So it's wise to sit with our revelations before taking action. This is one of several eclipses in the set of Taurus Scorpio axis. And what else does it say? This eclipse serves as a prompt to nudge or push us to make improvements in the areas that Taurus and Scorpio rule in our charts. Any kind of discontent will be magnified at this time, you think? Fun times. Yeah, you still can't sleep. I was able to sleep last night. The night before that, I think I got some sleep too. I had to force sleep at one point. Restless legs, and so this energy is interesting. For me, it's my legs. When the energy ramps up, I get like restless legs and cramping. Not like cramping, but like a weird pressure where my legs just are constricted, contracted, and it feels like they're cramping, but it doesn't hurt. My dad came outside. I was sitting on the porch last night, and he came outside and he said, "What can I do for an ear infection?" I was like, "Ear infection? When did that start?" An hour ago. I said, "Is it an infection or is it this energy?" And for him, I think it was definitely the energy. I gave him a old wives remedy. And he said this morning it didn't hurt. So for him, it was his ears. Everybody's getting different physical symptoms from this ramp up of energy. So don't judge it. I know my heart has been racing here and there and fluttering, and I have a slight murmur. So occasionally my heart will like miss a beat, and then it like flutters a little bit to get the rhythm going again. That's been happening quite a bit over the last 24 hours, and it's happened a few times today. So just to ease your mind, like, you're not losing your mind. The planet's going to be fine. This really is kind of a reset of energies, though. And I can't tell you all of what's going to change. I was asking Spirit this morning when I was meditating. I was like, what is happening? Like, I get this is a big day. This energy, aside from it being the election in the US, the sort of midterm elections, and it's a big deal, especially here in Texas. Like, what is this? What are we meant to do with this? And all I got back was, this is a time of possibilities. You can shift. And the dreams you had about shifting timelines is very much about consciously choosing the timeline you're on, or shifting when you're not liking the way it's turning out. But you can't avoid what needs to shift and change. We can't avoid it, man. But I'm telling you, anything that's coming up for you, like, address it, acknowledge it. And I was just talking to one of my friends, and she was like, how are you dealing with it? And I'm like, I'm addressing all the stuff that's coming up with the ego, because some of it, obviously, I need to take care of. I'm like, but I'm just acknowledging it, taking note of it, and then watching it pass by. I am trying my best not to analyze it, grab it, hash it through, talk about how bad it feels and all of that. And that seems to be working for me. So find what works for you. For those of you in Charm Life, we have office hours. We have coaching here in about 45 minutes. So that makes it easier because I can walk you through whatever's going on for you personally. But this is a time to get to work. And that's the one thing I did get from Spirit is there's no more time for distraction. So yesterday, through all this energy of trying to focus, and it took a lot, I did work on the new Empowered Empath Masterclass. I've been building out this new slides and my new outline and whatnot, and I've added a lot of information to it. I'm releasing a lot of things into this class that I did not do in the last class. We've only got 2 hours. We may end up going a little bit over because I'm adding a Q&A and stuff like that at the end as well, instead of doing a separate session on it. But there's a lot. Discernment. I've added discernment. Let me tell you exactly what I've added because I've added quite a bit. So I'm adding a high level protection method that I used to teach only in my psychic development class, which I'm not teaching anymore. But I've given it to Charm Lifers. I'm teaching discernment in this one. We're getting way deeper into not just narcissists, but psychopaths and sociopaths. So y'all know how to handle it and spot it when it's hitting. Some new tools in raising your energy. I'm going to do a quantum clearing and activation during that master class as well. And what else? We're going to go through the archetypes. If you didn't take the quiz, the archetype quiz, go take it before you jump in with us. And then how to deal with narcissists and gaslighting in a peaceful way. Trying to think what else is in here. There's so much. I have been adding so much in here about connection, about where you're plugged into, about expanding your energy and being the loudest energy in the room. Like we're taking a different track on this one and diving deeper into the dimensions and the frequencies. Where, before you had to work with me in my psychic development class to get this stuff. You're going to get this in the master class. So if you have taken the master class before, I sent out an email to you guys yesterday. Check your emails. There's a special little thing in there for you. If you've never taken the empath master class, get into this one. Can't wait for this one. Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see you, Carolyn. There's a lot more I'm adding. I'm adding a lot about discernment of spiritual teaching, spiritual trends. There's so much Spirit's like, you got to teach about all the distractions because a lot of people are getting pulled out into places where not good. So we're going to do a lot in this 2 hours. And like I said, it might go over. If people need to drop off, that's absolutely fine. I understand. You will have the replay in the portal along with the bonuses that I'm throwing in and the high level protection bonus I am throwing in. Decided to do that yesterday. So I didn't even announce that. There's things that will happen in this masterclass and that I'll end up adding in as bonuses. So join. No big deal, right? Just join. What else? But that's what I was doing yesterday. And I can't believe I didn't remember. I was so engrossed in it. How did I wake up this morning and have like a blank on what did you do yesterday? I took your previous one. We'll sign up for this one. Cool, Margarita. Yeah, check your email because if you were in the last one, you did get an email from me yesterday. So on how to take the new one. Okay. So yeah, let's see. Anything else I want to say? I'm seriously feel like I've got ADD brain beyond belief. Are you guys feeling that? Like what? I can't focus. What? My head is just all over the place. You guys feeling that today? There are things that I know I should get done, but I worked through the weekend without intending to. I'm floating. Oh, I wish. I even had literally having hair issues this morning. and my bangs are going to the opposite direction than they normally do. Caramancy, I sent you an email yesterday. I hope that you got that. If you did not, please check your email. But I did send you one yesterday, and you'll be happy to get it. Forgot everything I need to do and no motivation. Yeah, motivation is not high on the list of energies presenting today. So here's my advice: don't judge it. Understand that it's like, if you can get through today without biting anybody's head off, drowning your sorrows in food or alcohol, or whatever addiction you participate in, like if you can get through today in a way where you control your tongue, stay silent, and ride through the energies in a higher way and ask more positive questions, like when these things come in, you're going to feel better, right? I've been beyond emotional. It's hard to focus. Yeah. So you can go onto YouTube. There's binaural beats that are free on YouTube for concentration and focus, but I've been using Hemi Sync, which is a whole different. I like it better because it's true binaural beats where it's circulating between right and left. You have to use headphones. It does help, but when it's not on, when I'm not playing it, I'm finding my brain just like, what's up? I just want to close down and stay home, but I can't. Yeah, so do that. Well, like put on some Hemi Sync. It works. It works to sync both the right and left hemispheres of the brain. And I mean, one of the things I love with the work I do with people is syncing the brain, because a lot of times we'll get stuck in either the left side of the brain, the left hemisphere, or the right side, and then the two sides stop communicating. Makes it so much harder. Hi, Danielle up here. Nice to see you. So the Hemi Sync binaural beats is really good to help keep you a little more focused. I'm not going to say it's working as well as it normally does, because when I'm reading, and I'm a speed reader, like I usually will listen to something like that so that I'm absorbing it on to both sides of my brain, instead of getting stuck in either the analysis part or the feeling part, right? It's not working as well as it normally does for me, but at least it's working. Don't try to tackle anything big today. There's just no point. There's just no point. Like if you can postpone meetings and stuff like that, like obviously today's the last day to vote. We had to go vote. That wasn't a hard thing for me. I already knew who I was going to vote for. So I walked in, made my selections, and walked out pretty quickly. But trying to finish out all of the slides, they've been like up on my computer. And I'm like, I will finish them before Saturday, but they're probably not going to get done today, because I feel like if I even attempt it, it's just going to get all over the place, right? I'm almost done. Like I've added pretty much the outline's done, and I've added pretty much everything the Spirit told me to add, but finishing out the slides, I'm like, I can't. Yeah. So, and I'm going to do coaching in a little bit, and then I may very well just call it good. I don't know. I say that and then I end up working because people need help. Excited to see it. Yeah. You guys, if you have signed up for the Empath Masterclass, you will get the PDF download on the day of the actual masterclass. And people keep sending me messages. Will there be a replay? There's always, when you're signed up for a class with me, whether you attend it live or you don't, it goes into your portal so that you have access to it. And once you have access to it, until my website goes down, you have access to it on things like the Empath Masterclass, not Charm Life, but the Empath Masterclass. So you can repeat it however many times, and there will be downloads. There'll be a meditation, couple meditation downloads, one for shielding, one for high powered shielding, and one to help you start to make sense of where is this information coming from. And like I said, I haven't taught that anywhere to the extent that I'm teaching it in the Empath Masterclass, or giving you access to, except for in my psychic development class. So I am throwing that in as a huge bonus to you guys, and I hope you use it. So you'll have some extra videos that will show up as well that I didn't even list in on the page to sign up, the enrollment page. Lots of stuff. Got Soul Fast, welcome aboard, invite to the masterclass. That's all of anything else. No, you got to log into the website, honey. So cartomancy, after this is over, I have a class to teach, but I'll hit you up. I don't have your phone number saved. I don't think. I might. If I do, I will call you and we'll get you logged in. I can walk you through it. It's not hard, but and that this is the strangest thing. A school bus just drove down our cul-de-sac. Someone made a wrong turn because school buses, we have a very narrow street. School buses should not be on my street ever. I don't know what the school bus is doing. Like, it's one of those days where strange things are afoot. So don't judge them. Just don't judge them. And people are on high crank. Be aware, okay? Use what tools you can right now. Like I said, ask good questions. When your head starts kicking into you're a bad person or, nobody likes you, you should just quit, or this is too much work. What else is possible? What else is possible in this? Aside from just that, okay, so where can I improve it? What can I do to fix this? Not going down the route of beating yourself up and putting yourself down and finding all the ways that you could quit. Quitting is not optional right now. Like, that's not, unless it's quitting the bad stuff, it really is just not an option right now. Can't do it. Don't do it. And in another week, you're going to feel differently. The energy for almost all of November is a little cranked because we need to change things. And just having all those dreams of jumping timelines was so interesting because every single scene that would shift, there was so many subtle changes that when I woke up this morning and I started to think about it, I was like, what do you really want to see on this planet? What do you really want to see in your local area? What do you really want to see in your business, in your family, in your life? Why would I be so calm today? It depends on where this is hitting your astrology, for sure, Carolyn. I can't tell you. Some people are okay. Others of us are connected in, and I don't know. I thought I was going to be fine because I've been riding through it fairly good with very little sleep. But today has just been interesting. Like, it's not bad at all. It's just not my normal. I don't have the normal ability to focus like I normally do. And I can usually just tune everything out and focus no matter what's going on. But today the energy's it's that cranked. So I just thought I'd tell you guys, like, it's not just you. Don't quit. You may be thinking, oh, but I keep coming back to this. Yeah, I come back to it too when I want to escape or avoid and I want things to be easier. And life on planet Earth is just not that easy. It's not meant to be. We're meant to be here and experience things, and we're meant to go through growth inspiring challenges, and we're meant to run up against blocks so that we can really check in and decide, is this something I really want? And this block, does it really belong there? And you're always offered a choice when you run into a block. Do you want to keep that belief? Do you want to keep that line of thinking? Or do you want to shift it to a higher place? If you want to learn how to do all of that and really shift and change your life, come talk to me about Charm Life. There's an application on my website, and we can work together in there, and your life will shift. I'm not going to say it's always going to be magical. I can't promise that. Nobody can. My life is pretty magical. And yet, I still have places I need to grow. I've been at this work for a very, very long time, like 3 decades, and I'm still growing. I'm good today, but the last 2 weeks was a monster. Only break is no appointments. Yeah, everybody's handling it different. And leading up to this, I was doing fairly good. Aside from the sleep thing, sleep has been hard. Everybody's waking up. Even people that aren't sensitive are waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. every night. And I've just been using it as a time to just talk to spirit, and it's the other thing this morning too, is like this mad urgent feeling to find out what's going on. Right. So what do? We jump on our phones. We go through TikTok, Twitter, the news reels, Facebook, and I'm like, this is not going to give me anything of what's going on. Go straight to source. Source will tell you what's going on. And that's when I just jumped into meditation. So, but there is like information overload on attacking all of your senses, right? All of them. It just feels like, what the hell? And that's okay. Let it be. And don't judge it. And don't judge yourself. That's my advice to you. I'll come back when things are it's easier for me to articulate. Part of the reason I didn't really want to come on today anyways, too, was because I am so scattered and I was having a bad hair day. I need to go get my hair cut, but I don't have time right now to make an appointment. But see, ADD brain. Anywho, like, I want to come on because I feel like I'm sort of in the midst of all the energy too. I'm like, I'm not going to make any sense. But eventually, I always do make sense. So I'm sorry if I'm not as articulate as normal or focused as normal, but I am human. Like, that is the one thing that keeps coming through today. And one of my ways of like combating the ego is to keep saying to myself, you are human. Like, you are, yes, a spirit having a human experience, but you are fully flipping in the human experience today. Don't judge it. Just laugh. Like, laugh at this. This is funny. It's funny. You've been on social media fast. Good for you. I know I keep thinking about that too, but you know, when you run a business that's online and you're connecting with people, you got to be on social media. But I'm trying not to do the scroll. I'm trying just to go on and answer notifications. But my curiosity right now too is, how are people handling it? Right? One of the things in the empath class that they have me expanding on is all the places and all the false teachings and all the false stuff that's out there that's distracting the living heck out of people and taking you down a path that is not going to get you rooted into what you're meant to do here, right? There's a lot. Have you guys noticed how much there is out there that takes you away from focusing on your actual life and gets you going down the path of escaping your life? There's a lot out there. So they did have me add all of that stuff into this empath class because it's really important that people understand what's happening out there. And we'll work on some discernment stuff too. And then I'm going to do a Q&A and a hot seat stuff at the end. So it's going to be a long class, but it'll be well worth it. We're doing it on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern. I did choose to do it on a Saturday based on a poll I ran in my group so that more people could attend. And I realize it's a Saturday, but if I ran it during the day, during the week when I normally work, people can't attend. And there's no nighttime that is going to hold a 2-hour class that way that I have available. So we're doing it on Saturday. So I hope to see you guys this Saturday. If you miss Saturday and you can't attend live, again, you'll have it in your portal. So you can always watch it afterwards. Okay. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you guys this weekend if I don't see you before. And Charm Life, I will see you guys in about 15, 20 minutes. Have a good one. You're welcome, Carolyn.